So we'll see what is permission. So permission define the type of access granted to a user, group, or computer to access the resources. So it defines the type of access granted to a user to access, let us say, a folder. For example, Bill can access the list of files in a folder. So we have one technical folder here and we have one user called Bill. So what we will do, we will provide the permission to Bill access the list of files inside this folder. So he can only see the files. He can't do anything. And tech support group. So we have one group. In this group, we have added the tech support users. So this group can read the files. Okay. We have given the read and execute permission to tech support. So this tech support group can read the files in a folder and they can execute the exe files as well. Let us say this folder is having one exe file as well. So if you give read and execute, so they can read the files and they can execute this exe file as well. And we have tech managers group. So we have added the managers in this group. So this group can modify the files in the folder. Okay, so permission define the type of access granted to a user to access the resources. Resources, nothing but files, folders, computers, etc. So guys, data folder is created on D drive. So let us say you have created one data folder in a D drive. You have one D drive and under this D drive, you have created one data folder. Okay, under this data folder, you have created three files, file 1, file 2, and file 3. So data folder is created on D drive, file 1, file 2, and file 3 are created in data folder. By default, everyone is allowed to access this D drive. So guys, the permission to access this D drive is permit any. So anyone can access this D drive. Okay. And D drive is called as parent drive. So this is the parent drive. It is a parent, and data folder is called child, and file 1, file 2, file 3 are the children of this data folder. So D drive is called as parent, and data folder is called as child, and file 1, file 2, and file 3 are the children of data folder, and they will inherit the permission from parent, that is permit any permission. So as we have discussed, this D drive is permitted to everyone. Anyone can access this D drive, and we have created data folder. So it will inherit the permission. What is that permission? Permit any. So anyone can access the data folder as well. Okay, so guys, user 1 has created data on client 1. So this is the user 1, and he has created some data on client 1. And anyone can access, read, modify, and delete it because it has inherited the permission from the drive. So it has inherited the permission from drive, and drive is having permit any permission. Okay, so this data folder or whatever the data is created by user 1, it will inherit the permission from the drive, which is permit any. So guys, using permissions option, we can allow only user 1 to access the data folder. By default, anyone can access it, but we can restrict, okay, others to access this data folder on client 1 using permissions option. So we have two types of permissions. One is security level permission. The other one is share level permission. Let us try to understand the difference between these two types of permissions. Security level permissions are used to restrict the local hard disk or data saved on the local hard disk. Okay, this security level permissions, it is used to restrict the data saved on the local hard disk. And this security level permission can implement only on NTFS partition. So yesterday in our last class, we have discussed how to create the partitions, NTFS and PAT partition, and you will get the security level permissions only with NTFS partition. It is not supported by PAT partition. So guys, if you observe here, we have E drive and F drive. This E drive is formatted with PAT file system, whereas this F drive is formatted with NTFS file system. So if you observe here, this NTFS is having two options, security and sharing, whereas this PAT option, it doesn't have any security option. Okay, so security level permission can be implemented only on the NTFS, and it is not supported by PAT. So by default, security permissions are inherited from its parent drive or folder. And guys, we have different types of security permissions. So it is having different security permissions like list, folder content permission, read permission, write permission, read and execute permission, modify permission, and full control. If you see here, it is having full control, modify, read and execute, list, folder content, read and write. So these are the different types of permission. So what is this list, folder contents permission? It allows user to see the list of files and folders only. So the users can only see the list of files. They can't open it, they can't read it, they can't modify it. And what is this read permission? It allows users to access and read the data. So users can only read the data. They can't modify the data. They can't write anything. If you give the write permission, it allows user to write the data but can't delete it. So if you give write permission, users will write the data, users will write the content, but they can't delete it. And to get the write permission, it required read permission to access it. So guys, if you want to allow a user to write the content, you should give the read permission also. If you give only write permissions, user can't read, user can't access the file. Then read and execute permission, it allows user to read the content, and let us say the folder is having .exe file. So if you give this read and execute permission, the user can execute, user can read the exe file as well. User can install any software. And then we have modify permission. It allows a user to read, write, modify, and execute the file's attribute. And full control means it allows user to read, write, modify, execute, change the permission as well. So user can change the permission as well, and they can take the ownership of the file. So user will be the owner of that file if you give the full control. So we'll do the lab now. So in this lab, what we will do, we will create a folder and we'll assign the name data folder, and we'll create 3 files, file 1, file 2, file 3 inside this data folder, file 1, file 2, and file 3. After that, so as we have discussed, by default, security permissions are inherited from its parent drive or folder, which is permitted to everyone. So what we will do, we will remove the default permission. How will you remove the default permission? Here, data folder is created. Okay, and it is inheriting the permissions from drive. So you will right click on data, then you will go to properties. Then you will get this window. Under this properties, data properties, you will go to security. Under the security, you will select the advanced option. Guys, just give me a short break. So guys, let us do this lab. We'll create the folder, then we'll create the files, then we'll move forward. So we'll go to server 1, which is domain controller. Then we'll log on to this server. Okay, so on this server, we have created some drives. We have C drive, we have E drive, and we have F drive. So security is supported by NTFS. Okay, so let us verify the file system here. So you can see it is fat and there is no security here. It is only having sharing. So we'll go to F drive and we'll right click properties, and it is a NTFS file system here, and it is supporting security as well. So under this F drive, we'll create a data folder. Data, and inside this data folder, we'll create file 1, file 2, and file 3. File 1, and we'll create some content like file 1 content, and we'll save it. We'll create file 2, and we'll create the content. File 2 content. Then we'll create file 3. Create file 3 content here. Okay, so this is a lab. So we'll see what is partition. Okay, so guys, we have hard disk, and without hard disk, we can't run the computer because hard disk saves the operating system. And if you want to save the data permanently, you will save the data on the hard disk. Okay, so operating system and data, both of them are saved on the hard disk itself. Okay, so the data is saved on the platter. So inside this hard disk, you have the platter. So on this platter, the data is saved and it is read by this needle. Okay, you have one needle and the data is read by the needle. And guys, we can make the partition to save the operating system and data. Okay, so this is the platter here, and you can make the partition here. So like C, D, E, F partition. So you can save the operating system on C drive, and you can save your data on D drive. Let us say, and you want to save some videos, you can save it on F drive, and if you want to save the audio, you can save on E drives. Okay, so we can make the partition to save the operating system and data. Partition C for operating system and D for data. So guys, what is the use of partition here? So it helps us to organize the files and other data in an efficient way. So like Windows operating system files, drivers, and software files are saved in C, and we can use the other partition drive to save the work related files and documents. If we save data and operating system on C, let us say we are saving the operating system and data on C drive. And in future, if you format the C drive, your data will be lost. If you save the data on D drive, if you save the data on D drive, in future, if you format this C drive, your data will be saved. Okay, it will not be deleted. So if we save the data and operating system on C drive, when we format it, the data will be lost. Okay, guys. So like hard disk drive, these benefits also apply to SSD too. Okay, solid state drives as well. You can make the partition in SSD also. So let us see what is file system. So new hard disks are not formatted, they are raw by default. Okay, guys. So when you purchase the new hard disk, they are raw by default, and in the raw hard disk, we can't save the data. To save the data, we need to format the disk. Okay, and to format the disk, we need to take the help of file system. So let us see what is this file system. So there are different file systems. We have PAT, PAT-32, NTFS, REFS. So FAT stands for file allocation table. And if you make the partition using PAT, it supports maximum 4 GB partition. And it supports only sharing. We'll see what is the meaning of this supports sharing in our coming slide. And we have FAT32 file system. So if you are formatting your hard disk with FAT file 32 file system, it supports maximum 32 GB partition. Okay, FAT32 means 32 GB partition. And this FAT32 also supports only sharing. It doesn't support the security. We'll see the difference between sharing and security. And if you are formatting the hard disk using NTFS file system, NTFS stands for New Technology File System, and this NTFS supports maximum 16 EB partition, not GB, it is EB. Okay, let us try to understand how much this EB is. So guys, 8 bits make 1 byte, 1024 bytes make 1 kilobyte, 1024 kilobytes make 1 megabyte, 1024 megabytes make 1 gigabyte, 1024 GB makes 1 terabyte or TB, and 1024 TB make 1 petabyte, 1024 petabyte makes 1 exabyte. So it supports maximum 16 exabyte partition, and it supports sharing and security. Then we have REFS, Resilient File System. It is supported from Windows Server 2012, and it supports maximum 262 144 EB partition. Okay, exabyte partition. So it supports sharing and security also. Okay, guys. So we attach the hard disk directly to the server, and it is called as direct attach storage. So while attaching the hard disk, we must select the partition style as well. So we have two partition styles. One is MBR, the other one is GPT. MBR stands for Master Boot Record, and it supports up to 4 primary partitions. We'll see what is the meaning of this primary partitions. Okay, if you are using MBR, it supports 4 primary partitions, and it supports up to 2 TB hard disk. Okay, so maximum you can attach 2 TB hard disk if the partition style is MBR. If you have selected GPT GUID partition table, it supports up to 128 primary partitions, and it supports more than 9.4 ZB hard disk. Okay, so 1024 EB makes 1 ZB. Okay, so 9.4 ZB it supports maximum, which is equal to 9.4 billion terabytes. Okay, So let us try to understand what is this primary partition. Primary partition means it is a bootable partition where we can store the operating system files. Okay, software, data, and registry files and boot files as well. Whereas extended file means it is not a bootable partition and it is used to store only data. Okay, so this is the difference between primary and extended partition. So guys, how to create the partition? Let us try to understand. So if you have only C drive and you want to make other partitions, okay, you can use this disk management tool. So you have only one partition and you want to make other partitions as well, like C, D, and E. So how will you make the partition? You will use the disk management tool. It is available on client and server operating system. And how to make the partition? Let us try to understand. Okay, you will log on as administrator and you will go to start, right click, and you will select this option, disk management. Okay, and or you can run this command as well, disk mgmt.msc. It will take you to this page. Okay, so you can use two options to reach this tool. After reaching this tool, you will right click. Let me show you the steps. Okay, so when we install the operating system, we have created only one partition. Let me show you the partition here. Okay, if you see, we have only C drive and the size is 99.3 GB. So it is having only one partition and it is having operating system. And if you want to save the data, and you will save the data in C drive. So what is the disadvantage here? In future, if you format this C drive, the data will be deleted. So we want to make the partition. We want to make C and D partition here. So what you will do, you will go to start, right click, and you will select this disk management option. So this is the disk management tool, and you will see the C partition here, and you will click, right click on this C drive, and you will select this option, shrink volume. And you will enter the size. So let us enter the size 4000 MB. So it will create the partition of around 4 GB. Okay. If you see here, it has created the partition of around 4 GB. Okay, but it is not formatted with any file system. Okay, it is not formatted with PAT or NTFS. We'll see how to format it. So this way you will create the partition. Okay, so you will go to disk management and you will right click on C and you will shrink it. Okay, so shrink C drive to make partition, and we have seen the steps as well. Now guys, our requirement is to create two partitions. One partition with FAT file system, the other partition with NTFS file system. Okay, so how will you format it? So already the partition is created. You will right click and new simple volume. Let me show you the other steps. So here we'll go to this 3.9 GB partition and we'll right click here and we'll select new simple volume option and we'll click next, and we'll provide the name. okay, to this drive. So by default it has selected E, and we'll click next. So guys, we want to which file system we need, NTFS or FAT. So let us create FAT, and then we'll click next, and it will format it with FAT file system. If you see, the name is E and the file system is FAT. We'll create one more drive and we'll format that drive with NTFS. Shrink volume. So let us give 5000 MB, around 5 GB. Partition it will be. If you see, 4.88 GB, but it is not formatted yet. So we will format it with NTFS file system. New simple volume. Next, next, and it will provide the name F, and it will be formatted with NTFS. Then we'll click next, finish. Okay, so the volume name is F and it is formatted with NTFS. E is formatted with file FAT. So guys, this is how you will create the partitions. Any doubt till here? So guys, we have created data folder and we have created files inside the data folder. And as we have discussed, by default, security permissions are inherited from its parent drive or folder, and it is permitted by default. So we need to delete or we need to remove the default permissions. How will you remove the default permissions? So data folder is already created. You will right click, properties, then you will go to security, then you will select advanced option. Under this advanced option, you will go to permissions, then you will select this option, disable inheritance. All these users, okay, they are inheriting the permission. So if you disable the inheritance, you will get this window, and you will select this option, remove all inherited permissions from this object. So permission to all the users are removed, including administrator. So you will not see any user here. You will not see even the administrator, which means administrator cannot access that data folder. After that, so it is the administrator, guys, so it should have the access. So we will give the access to administrator. So there are two methods to provide the access to administrator. The first method is, you will go to this data folder and double click on it. You will get this error, you don't currently have permissions to access this folder. Click continue to permanently get the access to this folder. Once you click continue, the administrator will automatically get all the permissions. Okay, so this is the first method. And the second method is, you will go to data folder, you will right click on it, then you will go to properties, then you will go to security. Under security, you will select edit option. Then you will get this window and you will you will type administrator username here, which is administrator, and you will check the name and you will click OK. So guys, by default, if you go with the second method, administrator will not get all the permissions. You need to select all the permissions manually with the second method. With the first method, it will get all the permissions automatically. Okay, so with this method, administrator will not get full control. Okay, give the full control manually. We need to give the full control manually. So let us do this lab. We'll remove the inheritance. So we'll go to data folder, right click, properties, security. Under security, we will go to advanced option. Under advanced option, you can see all these users are having the permission. So what we will do, we will disable the inheritance and we'll remove all inherited permissions from this object. Okay, and what happened, it is not removing the administrator. Okay, so we'll click OK. Let us try one more time. Properties, security, advanced, and it is already removed. So anyhow, let us try. We'll click OK. And guys, if you go to F and we'll click data, double click on data. So administrator is having the access, but it should remove it. Okay, when you disable the inheritance, it will remove the administrator as well. So let us try one more time. We'll create one more folder. Data one, right click, properties, security, advanced. Okay, so we'll disable inheritance, remove all inherited permissions. So here it should remove this administrators as well. Okay, anyhow, this time it is not removing. So if, let us say, if the administrator is not getting the permission, so you need to provide it manually. And let us say it has removed the permission, it has removed the administrators as well. So you will get this option: no groups or users have permission to access this object. However, the owner of this object can assign the permission. So you will click OK. OK. And if you double click on this data, you will get this error. So we have logged on with administrator and we try to open data one and it is not allowing the administrator to access data folder. You don't have permission to access this folder. You will click continue. Okay, so once you click continue, the administrator will get the permission automatically. This is the first method. Let us see the second method. We'll create one more folder. Data 2, properties, and we'll go to security. Then we'll go to advanced. And guys, if you disable the inheritance, remove all inheritance, let us say it has removed administrator as well. Now the second method is you will go to properties, security, edit, then you will add administrator, check names. Okay, we'll select the user. Okay, and if you see, administrator doesn't have the full control with the second method, so you will check this full control option, apply. Okay, now administrator is having the full control. It can create the files under this folder, file 1, and it can create the content as well. It can save it, and the administrator wants to delete this file, it can delete it. Okay, so the administrator is having the control now. Okay, in case if administrator is removed, so you can add it. Now guys, let us move forward. So we'll see user with read permission. Okay, so user with read permission, and our requirement is to allow Bill to access the data folder with read permission, which means Bill can read the content. He can't delete it. Okay, so the steps, you will go to the data folder, right click, security, then you will select this edit option, then you will select this add option. Okay, you will get this window. Here you will add, you will select this add option, and you will type the username Bill and check name. So you will get the full name here, then you will click OK. So Bill is added here, and you will check this option read, then you will click OK. So Bill can only read this folder. Okay guys, so user with read permission. So what we will do guys, this time we will create the folder on workstation. Okay, on workstation, the use administrator will not get the permission. Okay, we'll verify both the things. We'll verify the administrator and we'll verify the bill as well. So let us log on with administrator. At ms.com. The password is 123. So we are log on to this computer for the first time with administrator account. So it is creating the profile for administrator. Profile is nothing but the space for the user to work. So guys, we have logged on to this workstation one with administrator account. We'll set up the icons, settings, personalization, themes, desktop icons, settings. Apply, okay. And we have all the icons here. Okay guys, so let us verify this, see whether it is formatted with NTFS or not. So if you see, it is formatted with NTFS and it is having the security option here. Then we'll go to C and we'll create one folder data. And we'll create some files. File 1. File 1 data. Then we'll create file 2. Create some content. Okay, file 2 data. Then we'll create file 3. File 3 data. Now we'll disable the inheritance. We'll go to data, properties. We'll go to security, advanced. Then disable inheritance. Remove all inherited permissions from this object. Now you can see administrator is also removed. Okay, then we'll apply. Okay, so administrator doesn't have the permission to access this data. If you double click, okay, we have logged on with administrator and we are getting this error. You don't currently have permission to access this folder. If you click continue, it will get all the permissions automatically. So it can add the data. It can save it. Okay, I have saved it. You can close. Okay, and if you want, you can add the file as well. So it is having the full permission. File 4. It has created file 4 and it can delete this file 4 as well. So it is having full control. Now our requirement is to allow Bill to read the data. Okay, he can't write, he can't modify the data. So again, you will go to data, right click, properties, security, edit, add, and Bill, then check names. So user is available, Bill Gates is available. Click OK. Then you will remove all the permissions and you will allow only Bill to read the content. Apply. Okay. Okay. Now guys, what we will do, we will log on with Bill. We'll sign out from here. We'll sign out with administrator. We'll sign in with Bill. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll open this PC. We'll go to C. Then we'll go to data and Bill can read the file. Okay, so you can see it is opening the file, but data from Bill. Let us try to save it. You will get this error. You don't have permission to open this file. See the owner of the file or an administrator to obtain the permission. So we'll click OK. We'll close it. Okay, if you go to file 1, you will not have the content which is added by Bill. Let us move forward. Now we'll provide the read write permission to a user. So user with read write permission, our requirement is to allow Satya to access data folder and read and write permission. Okay, so you will go to data folder, right click properties, security, then you will select this edit option. You will get this window. Here you will type the username Satya and you will check name, so you will get the full name Satya Nadella, then you will click OK. And here what you will do, you will provide the write permission. So only write permission is not enough, guys. So if you provide only write permission, the user won't be able to open the file. Okay, so it required read write permission. Okay, so first it will read and it will write. So you need to provide read write permission. Okay, so then we'll log in with Satya and access the files and try to write. Okay, so let us do this lab. We'll go to workstation 1 and we'll sign in with administrator to provide the permission. It is taking some time. Let us wait. So let us log on with administrator. The password is 123. So we'll go to this PC. Then we'll go to C drive. In C drive, we'll go to data. Okay, this is the administrator and he's having the full control. Right click, properties, security, edit, add, and we'll type Satya. Check names. User is available, then we'll click OK. And we'll provide read and write permission. Okay, read and write. Then we'll apply. Okay, okay. So let us log on with Satya. Password is 123. Okay, you can see we have logged on with Satya Nadella user. You will go to this PC. Then we'll go to C. Then we'll go to data and we'll write. We can save it. We can close it. So you can see it is accepting it. So previously with Bill, it was not accepting. It was not allowing Bill to write the content. So security level permission is having some limitations. Let us try to discuss the limitations and we'll see the solution. So security level permissions are used to restrict the local hard disk. Okay guys, you have saved some data on this local hard disk and we can provide the security level permission on this data which is saved on the local hard disk. So the user who have permission to access any folder must log into a specific client. For example, user 1 has created a data folder on client 1. So user 1, he has created a data folder on client 1, and if user 2, user 3 and user 4 want to access this data folder, this user 2, user 3 and user 4, they have the permission, okay, to access this data. And if they want to access this data folder, they need to log in to client 1. They will not get this data folder on client 2, client 3 and client 4 or on their computers. Okay, so they must log on to client 1. And if user 1, this user 1 has logged on to any client like client 2, client 3 and client 4, it will not get this data folder on the other computers. This is the limitation here. So to overcome these limitations, we use the share level permission. As we have discussed, we have two types of permissions: security level permission and share level permission. Security level permission is for the local hard disk, okay, local computer you can say. And let us see what is this share level permission. So we'll see share level permission. With share level permissions, folder can be accessed from any computer in the network. So we have created data folder on client 1. User 2, user 3 and user 4 having the permission to access this data, so they can access this data folder from their computers, client 2, client 3 and client 4, using share level permission. So user 1 has created a data folder on client 1. If user 2, user 3 and user 4 want to access this data folder, they can access it from their computers because the folder is shared here. Okay, and it can be implemented on NTFS and file FAT partition. Okay, so FAT and NTFS both supports this share level permission, and it can be set on drives, folders, but not files. So you can apply this share level permission on drive. You can apply the share level permission on folder, but you can't apply it on files. So if you want to share the files, you need to save these files under the folder, then you will share this folder. Okay, so if you want to share files, you should save the files in a folder, then share this folder. So guys, if you observe here, we have file 1, and if you go to the properties of this file, you will not find this share option. Okay, files don't support share option. So how will you share? You will save them into a data folder and you will share this data folder. There are different share level permissions. Okay, one is read permission, the other one is read write permission. If you provide read permission, it will allow the users to read the folder's content. If you allow read write permission, read write permission allows user to read, write, modify, delete the content, unlike security level permission. So guys, let us do the lab, read permission lab. So our requirement is to create a folder with 3 files on workstation and share it with Bill with read permission. Okay, so we'll create let us create a finance folder. Okay, and we'll go to properties, then we'll go to sharing option. Under this sharing option, we will type the user. Okay, find people, then you will type the username Bill. Okay, so then you will check the names, then you will click OK. So Bill Gates is added here, and we want to give only the read permission. So you will select read. Okay, and you have 3 options here: read, write, and remove also. So our requirement is to provide the read permission to Bill Gates. Then how the Bill Gates will access it. So what you will do, you will take the path here. So after sharing it, you will get the path like this: //workstation-1/finance. So this // this is the computer name, and /finance means this is a folder name. Okay, so you will take this path and you will provide it to Bill Gates. So he will use this path to access the folder from the other device. So guys, shared folder can be accessed in 4 ways. The first way is, what you will do, you will go to search and you will type / then computer name, example / workstation. So with this option, you will get all the list of all the shared folder available on this computer, and you will select whatever the permissions you have. Then you have the second option, / IP address of the computer. Okay, it is similar to workstation, and here we are typing the IP address. Again, you will get the list of shared folder available on this computer 10.0.0.2 or workstation 1. So you will select the folder which you have the permission, and the third way is, you will type / computer name, then shared folder name, workstation 1-finance. So you will get only the finance folder. You will not get the other folders, other shared folders available on this computer. And you can type / IP address, then shared folder name 10.0.0.2, then finance. So you will get only the finance folder, you will not get the other folders here. So verify the read permission by login with user Bill on any client machine. So guys, let us create a folder and we'll give the read permission to Bill Gates. So let us log on with administrator. We'll switch the user instead of sign out. Let us log on with administrator. And let us create one finance folder here. And we need to provide read permission to Bill Gates. Okay, and he should access this folder from any computer. So right click, properties, sharing, and you will select this share option. If you see here, network path is not available. When you share, you will get the network path. Using this path, you will access the folder. Check names, Bill Gates is available. Click OK. And if you select this option here, arrow, if you click this arrow, read, write, and remove. So we'll select read. By default, it is read. Then we'll share it. Then you will get this path here. Okay, / workstation 1 finance. So workstation 1 is the computer name, finance is the folder name. Done. Okay, if you can see network path is available, you will copy this path. Then we'll close it. Okay, if you right click properties, sharing, it is saying that this folder is shared. Okay, now guys, let us access this folder from other computer. We'll go to member server. Okay, server 2 is the member server, it is the client. So Bill can access server 2. It is not a domain controller. The password is 1234. Okay, so how to access the shared folder? You will go to search and you will paste the path. We'll wait for a few seconds. Okay, if it is not pasting, you can manually type it. Workstation -1 slash finance. Okay, if you type slash here, so you are getting the shared folder here. So you can select from here as well. And under this finance folder, there is no files available. Let us create the files. File 1, file 1 content. Let us go to the member server and you can see file 1 is available and Bill can access, Bill can read the file content here, but he can't write anything. So it is giving this error here. You don't have permission to open this file. See the owner of the file or an administrator to obtain the permission. Okay, so we are able to access the folder from the other device. Okay, it is created here, but if we are able to access it from server 2, but it is having only read only permission. Now guys, let us give read write permission. Okay, let us see this lab. So our requirement is to create a folder with 3 files on server or on client. Let us create it on client or workstation and share it with Satya, and we'll provide the read write permission. Okay, so we'll create one folder like finance or anything. Right click properties, then sharing, then you will select the share option. After that, you will find people. You will select this find people option, enter the username, check names, then okay, then share it. So after sharing, we will give the read write permission. Okay, to Satya. Let us do this lab. We'll go to C and let us say it is HR, and we'll create some files. Then we'll share this folder, properties. You can share from here as well. Let us select find people. Satya, check names. Okay, then we need to give read write permission. Read write, share, and this is the path. Okay, you will provide it to Satya. Workstation 1 / workstation 1 / HR. Done. Now guys, again we'll go to the member server and we'll log on with Satya. Password is 123. So guys, as we have discussed, we have 4 ways to access the shared folder. So let us see all the 4 ways one by one. First, what we will do, we'll type / then computer name. The computer name is workstation 1. Workstation -1, and we'll click workstation. Yeah, then we'll click enter. With this option, you will get all the shared folders available on workstation 1. Okay, so Satya is having the access to finance, so it can open the finance folder. Sorry, HR, right? So he can't open finance here because he is not allowed to open the finance folder. He is having the access to HR folder. Let us open HR folder. You can see he is able to open the HR folder and he can make the changes as well. Save it, close it. If you open, you can see the content is available. So this is the first way, and the second way is / computer name or IP address. Let us see the IP address first. What is the IP address? Let us verify the IP address of this workstation. You can access the folder through the computer name. You can access the folder through the IP address as well. It is 10.0.0.200. 10.0.0.200. You can see you are getting the shared folder available on this workstation 1. So again, Satya can access only HR folder and he can make the changes. Let us see the third way to access it. / server workstation 1 / you will type the folder name HR. It will directly open the HR folder. Okay, so you can make the changes and you can access the folder using IP address as well. 10.0.0.200/HR. You can see we are accessing this HR folder using IP address. So these are the 4 ways to access the folder. Okay guys, if you want to hide this folder from the users, you will type the $. Okay, so you will type the $. It will hide the folder from the other users. Okay guys, to hide a shared folder, type $, after the name of this shared folder. So use how the user will access if it is hidden. So user can access the hidden sheet folder by typing UNC, Universal Naming Convention. What is this UNC? / server name, then file name. After that, it will type the $sign. Okay, let us do this method as well. We'll go to workstation 1 and we'll create one folder, sales folder. Okay, sales folder, and we'll allow this folder for everyone. Everyone, and we'll provide the read write permission. Then we'll share it. Done. Then we'll go to advanced sharing option. Okay, not here. Let me just 1 second, guys. Here. Sales, then $sign. Properties, sharing, share, everyone, read write. Then done. Close. Okay, so it is shared with everyone, which means it can be shared by Satya as well. It can be accessed by Satya. Work station -1. And guys, if you see, we have sales folder shared. Okay, but it is not available here. It is hidden because we have given the $sign. So how to access it? Workstation -1 / sales, then $sign. Work. Okay, the name is not correct here. / sales, then $. Work station sales $. Okay, maybe it is small letter. Let us try one more time. Now you can see it is able to open this sales folder. It was hidden, and how to access it? You need to type the complete path. This is the path: / workstation -1 / sales, then $sign. So we'll see user profiles. So first we'll see what is an user profile. So guys, it is an environment or space for a user to work on a computer. So if a user want to work on any computer, it required a space. That space is called as user profile. Okay, so and desktop is the part of a profile. So when you log on to any device, you will get the desktop, guys. Okay, you will get this space to work, and the desktop is the part of a profile. And the user will perform all the tasks from desktop, like opening any application, accessing any drive, creating files and folders, etc. So from this desktop only, user will perform all the tasks. Okay, this is the space for the users to work. Okay, and there are two types of user profiles. One is local user profile, the other one is local user profile. Let us try to understand the difference between these two types of profiles. First, we'll see what is local user profiles. So this local user profile is created when a user logs on to a computer for the first time. Okay, so when you log on to a computer for the first time, you will get these messages, which means it is creating the profile for you. Okay, and the local user profile is stored on the computer's local hard disk. So let us say we have user one and he has logged on to this client one for the first time. So it will create the profile for user one, and that profile is saved on the local hard disk of this computer. And changes made to this local user profile are specific to the user and computer on which the changes are made. So this user has logged on to this computer, and let us say he has created one folder, data. Okay, so this data will be created. It will be available on this computer only, and it is available for this user only. Other users can't access it, and if this user try to access the other computer, he will not find this data folder. So it is specific to this user and it is specific to this computer only. So guys, who creates this local user profile? These local user profiles are created by the local operating system, not by server. So local operating system in the sense, let us say Windows 10 is installed on this client one. So when any user log on to this client for the first time, this Windows 10 operating system will create the local user profile, not the server. Okay, so if a user logs on to a Windows Server 2022 machine, then Windows Server 2022 operating system will create the user profile. So let us say on this machine Windows Server 2022 is installed, and any user log on to this computer. So Windows 2000 Server 22 will create the user profile, not this domain controller. And if a user logs on to Windows 10 machine, then Windows 10 operating system will create the user profile. And let us see where is the local profile saved. The local profile is saved on the local hard disk in C drive. Okay, so this is your C drive. In this C drive, this local user profile is saved, and the path is C/users. Okay, you will go to C, then you will click users, and you will see multiple profiles here. Okay, and let us see the contents of a profile. So the profile contains user personal settings like 3D objects. If you see here, 3D objects, this is the profile contents, contacts, desktop. As I told you, desktop is the part of profile, documents, download, favorite, links, music, OneDrive, pictures, saved games, search, videos. Okay. And what is this 3D objects? Projects you work on in the 3D apps will be saved in this 3D objects folder. Okay. And if you download anything, it will be saved here. And if you want to save the documents, you will save the documents here. If you want to save the music, you will save it here. Pictures, you will save it here. Games, videos. Okay. So these are the contents of the local user profile. And let us see which profile setting a user will get first. As we have discussed, when a user logs on to a computer, he will get the desktop first. You can see the profile folder on the desktop with username. Okay, so this is the profile folder of a user on the desktop. And user will perform all the tasks from the desktop like opening application, accessing any drives, creating files, and folders, etc. So this is the desktop, and he will get the desktop first after log on to any computer. And guys, is the profile, is the local user profile secured? So the local user profile is secured. A user can't access the profile of other users. So let us say we have logged on with Bill, and Bill is trying to open the folder of Jeff. You will get this message: you don't currently have permission to access this folder. Click continue to permanently get access to this folder. So if you click, it will ask for username and password. So Jeff will enter his username and password, and the permission will be denied. And why have a local profile when you can save the data on drive? So guys, we can save the data on drive. What is the purpose of this local profile? So if the user saves data on a drive, it will be accessed by all the users. So guys, if you save any data on the drive, this data will be accessed by all the users. And to apply the security, users depend on administrators. So users need to contact the administrator to provide the security to this data folder. But with a local profile, users can save the data on their profile items. Okay, they will go to desktop and they will save the data on desktop, or they will save the data in documents, or they will save the data in video. And this data is secured without the help of an administrator. So he will save the data and it is secured. Other users can't access it. So it doesn't require administrator to secure this information. Okay, if you see here, Bill is trying to open the Jeff folder and it is getting this message here. So data is secured by default. You are not dependent on administrator with local user profile. And let us do the lab. So first what we will do, we will create new users, user A and user B in Active Directory. Then what we will do, we will log in with administrator to a client machine. We will go to any Windows 10 machine and we log on with administrator. Then we'll verify the user profiles. You will not find user A and user B there because we have not logged on with user A and user B. So you will not find any profiles there. After that, what we will do, we will log in with user A, then verify the user profile. So you will find user A profile because we have logged on with user A, but user B profile is not there. Okay. Then what we will do, we'll create a folder on desktop. Okay, we'll create some data after login with user A. Then we will log on with user B and his profile will be created now. You will find user A and user B profile as well, but you can't access user A profile. Let us verify the things first. So first we'll create user A and user B. We'll go to the Active Directory. Let us log on to Active Directory. We'll wait for a few seconds. We'll let the server to settle down. We'll click OK. So we'll go to server manager, then we'll go to tools to create the username and password. Under these tools, we will go to Active Directory, users and computers. Then under this users will right click, new, then user, and we'll create user A, and user logon name, user A. Then we'll click next, password never expires, then we'll type 123. Then we'll click next, finish. User A is created. Let us create user B. So logon name will be user B. Then we'll click next. Password never expires. 123, 123. Then we'll click next. Then finish. These two users are created. Then what we will do? We log on to this workstation 1 with administrator. The password is 123. And we'll verify the profile. So we'll go to this computer. Then we'll go to C. Then we'll go to users folder. So this users folder will have the profiles of other computers. So it doesn't have the profile of user A and user B. Then we'll log out from server administrator. Sorry, we'll log out from this administrator, or let us switch the user. Other user. Then we'll type user A 123. So we are logging to this computer for the first time with user A. So it will create the profile. It will take some time after first log on. Okay, so we are getting everything ready for you, means it is working on profile. So taking time. Okay, so we have logged on to this workstation 1, and you can see we have got our space. We have got the desktop, and desktop is the part of profile. Then what we will do? We will set up the icons first. We'll right click on start button. Then we'll go to settings. Then we'll go to personalization. Then we'll go to themes. Under themes, we'll go to desktop icon settings. Then we'll check the icons. We'll click OK. All the icons are available on the desktop. All the icons are available here. And this is the profile folder of user A. If you double click on it, you will get the contents of this user. Okay, this is the complete profile. And if you want to see all the profiles, then you will go to this PC. Under this PC, you will go to C, and under C you will go to users, and under user we have administrator profile, Asif profile, Bill profile, public, and Satya and user A profile is also created here. So you can open this user A profile. Okay, but when you try to access this Satya profile, you will get the error. Okay, and if you continue, it will ask you for username and password. Okay, if you provide this user A, then 123. If you click yes, which means you are not allowed. So to access this folder, you need to provide the username and password of Satya. And what we will do now, we will create a folder here on the desktop, data folder. Okay, so then we log out from user A. Then we'll log in with user B. Again, we are logging with user B for the first time to this workstation 1. So again, it will start creating the profile. It will take some time to create the profile. Okay, so we have logged in with user B and we are getting only recycle bin on the desktop. Let us set up the icons. We'll right click on start button. We'll go to settings. Then we'll go to personalization. We'll go to themes. Under themes, we'll go to desktop icon settings. Then we'll check the icons. Then we'll click OK. And you will see all the icons and you will see the user B profile on the desktop itself. Then if you click this user B profile, you can see all the contents here. Okay, and To see all the profiles, you will go to this PC, see users, and if you try to open the user a profile, you can't access it. Okay. So to access this profile, you need to have the user a username and password. Okay, so we have done all these 4 labs. Now guys, let us see how to check whether the profile is local profile or roaming profile. So we'll go to control panel. Then you will get this window. Then we'll search for profile. You will type profile here. Then you will get this option system. Under this system option, you will select this option configure advanced user profile properties. Okay, once you click it, you will get this window. Under this window, you will see type local, status local. If it is a roaming profile, you will see type roaming and status roaming. Let us verify. We'll go to the we'll go to the client. Okay, then we'll go to control panel. We have logged on with user B and we need to check whether it is a local profile or roaming profile. So we'll type profile here. Then configure advanced user profile operation properties. And if you see here, the type is local and the status is also local, which means it is a local profile and everything will be saved on the local computer. So we'll see the local user profiles limitation. So the local user profile data is not accessible on other computers because it is created on a local computer. For example, if a user has created a data on client 1, so let us say user 1 has created the data on client 1, it will be saved on the local hard disk of client 1. So it is saved on this local device, and if the same user logs on to another machine, he will not see the data folder there. So let us say user 1 has logged on to client 2, he will not get this data because it is saved in on client 1. And if you want the same profile to be accessible on all the computers in the domain, you should configure the roaming profile. So if your requirement is this user 1 should access his profile on all the computers. So if user 1 log on to client 2, he should get this data. If user 1 has logged on to client 2, he should get the same data. If the user 1 has logged on to client 4, he should get the same data. Then we need to configure the roaming profile. So we'll see roaming user profiles. As we have discussed, we have 2 types of profiles, local user profile and roaming user profile. And the limitation of local user profile is all the data is saved on the local computer and users can't access the same profile on other computers. And our requirement is to make the users access the same profile on other computers as well. Then we will use this roaming user profile. So roaming user profiles are stored on a server and can be accessed from any computer. So it will be stored on the server and it can be accessed from any computer. Let us say you have created some data here and this data can be accessed. Let us say user 1 wants to access this data. He can access on client 1, client 2, client 3 and client 4. Okay, he will access the complete profile on all the computers and it is configured by an administrator on the server. So who is configuring this roaming user profile? Administrator on the server. In a roaming profile, when a user logs on to any computer in a domain, his profile will be copied from server to the desktop. Okay, so any user, okay, let us say we have created the roaming profile for user 1. Okay, and it will be created on server by administrator. This user 1, if he log on to client 2, he will get the same profile. If you log on to client 3, he will get the same profile. If you log on to client 4, he will get the same profile. Okay, so when the user logs off to their computer, the profile is copied back to the server. So let us say user 1 has logged on to client 1. He will get the profile from the server and he created some data. So when he log out from client 1, then all the data will be saved back to the server. If he doesn't log off, his data will not be saved to the server. And let us see the prerequisites for roaming profile. First, we need the user accounts. Okay, should be created in Active Directory like user A, user B, user 10, anything. Then drive should be formatted with NTFS. So what we have done, what we are going to do, we are going to save the profile, roaming profile on the domain controller. So where will you save the profile? You will save the profile on a drive. This drive should be formatted with NTFS. Okay, if you see here, the drive should be formatted with NTFS. This is the second prerequisite. And we need to create a shared folder on the server. So what we will do, we will create one shared folder on the server. So we will create like we have created in this example a folder, and we have provided the name as roaming folder, and we have shared this folder. Okay, we will see how to share it, and we have already covered how to share the folder, and we will see it today as well. So then we will take the path. So a shared folder on the server, because roaming user profiles are created on the server, and the folder should be empty with read and write permission. So guys, you will just create the folder. Let us say shared folder, and you will share this folder with read write permission, and you are not going to save anything. It should be empty, and you will give the read write permission to everyone. So lab 1, create a shared folder on domain controller, and it should be empty. Then take the shared folder path. So you will create a roaming folder. After that, you will share it with everyone with read write permission, and you will take this path. Let us do this lab first, then we'll move forward. So we'll go to domain controller, control alt del. The password is 123. We'll close it. We'll go to this PC. Then we'll go to a drive which is formatted with NTFS. Let us verify whether this E drive is formatted with NTFS or not. It is formatted with PAT. So we'll not select this drive. We'll verify F. It is formatted with NTFS. So we'll select F. Under this F, we'll create one folder and we'll assign the name as shared folder or shared profile. And we'll share this folder, right click, properties, sharing, share, and we'll share it with everyone. And you know how to hide it, so we are not going to hide in this example. And we'll give read write permission and we'll share it. Done. And it should be empty. It doesn't have anything inside this shared folder. And we'll take the path, properties, and location sharing, and we'll take this path, server 1 shared folder. So after that, let us see what to do. Then We'll do this lab 2. We'll create a roaming user profile for user A. Okay, so which means this user A, okay, if he logs on to any computer, he should get the same profile. So we'll create a roaming profile for user A. So we'll see the steps. We'll go to this user, right click on this user, then we'll go to properties. Under this properties, okay, when you click this properties, you will get this window, and you need to select this profile option, and you will paste the path. After pasting the path, you will add this word here /user A. We are creating the profile for user A, so /user A, apply OK. Then we'll verify if the profile is local or user. So we'll log on to any client with user A, then we'll go to control panel, then we'll search profile, then you will click this option, configure advanced user profile properties, and you will see roaming and roaming. Then log in with user A and we'll create a folder, and you can change the background, or we will add a folder on desktop. Then we log on to workstation 2 with user A and you will get the same profile. So it is recommended to use the same operating system for user profile, which means you will use, if you are using Windows 10 machine, so all the machines should be Windows 10, then only you will get the roaming profile on the other computer. Otherwise, you may face some issues. And user should sign out to save the data on server. So you have created some data, and without signing out from workstation 1 and you have logged on to workstation 2, you will not get the data there. You need to sign out, then only it will save your data to the server. Okay, so let us do this lab. Now we'll create the profile for user A. We'll create the roaming profile for user A. So we'll go to server manager. Then we'll go to tools, then Active Directory users and computers. Then we'll go to user A. We need to create the roaming profile for user A. Then we'll right click, properties. Then we'll go to this profile option and we'll paste the path here. Then /user A. We'll apply, then OK. Okay, so now we log on to workstation 1 with user A. Password is 123. Okay, so user A is already having one data folder on the desktop. So let us create one more folder, folder 1. Okay, then we'll go to the user A profile. Then we'll go to documents. We'll create notepad 1 or document 1. Okay, so then we'll verify whether this profile is roaming or not. If it is not roaming, you can't get the same profile on other device. Profile, will go to control panel, then profile, then we'll select this option, configure advanced user profile properties. And if you see here, It is saying roaming and roaming, which means this profile is roaming and we can get the same data on other device. We will get the same profile on other device. Okay, so data folder, folder 1. Under this documents, we have new data, new text document. Okay, we'll log on to workstation 2 using user account. So we need to log out, guys. Then it will save the profile on this server. Let us log on with user A. Password is 123. If you see, we have logged on with user A on other computer and we are getting the same profile here. If you go to user A profile, then if you go to documents, you are getting the document as well. Okay. What we will do, we log on with user B and we'll create some folder or change the background on workstation 1 and we log on to workstation 2 with user B and we will get the same profile. Okay, so user B profile is shared on server. So what we will do, we need to create the profile for user B as well. So how to create the profile for user B? We'll go to user B, double click or properties, profile, and this is the path. Then you will type user B here, then you will click OK. That's it. The roaming profile is created for user B. Then we log on to workstation 1. With user B. The password is 123. Let us verify whether it is a local profile or roaming profile. Still it is showing local profile, so we need to sign out. Then we will sign in. Let us verify whether it is a roaming profile or local profile. We'll go to control panel, then we'll type profile, we'll search for profile, and we'll select configure advanced user profile properties. And you can see it is showing roaming and roaming. We'll create some data on the desktop. Data on workstation 1. Okay. Then what we will do now, without signing out from workstation 1, we'll log on to workstation 2. We'll log on with user B. So you will not get the data on the desktop because we have not signed out from this workstation 1. So let us set up the icons. Personalization, themes, desktop icon settings. We'll check the icons. All the icons are available and we are not seeing this data on WS1 folder on workstation because we have not signed out. Let us sign out from both the computers. We'll sign out from workstation 1. Now it will save the data on server. Let us sign out from workstation 2. Let us log in with user B. Password is 123. Then you will get the same profile on user B. We are getting the data on SW1 here. So this roaming user profiles are created for selected users to save the space on server. So it is not for everyone, guys. If you create the roaming profile for all the users, it will consume the space of server and the server performance will be down. So you are going to create this roaming profile for like managers, team leaders, etc. And versions of Microsoft Windows user profile are as follows. So as we have discussed, we need the same Windows operating system for roaming profile because it is having different versions. So if you see this version 6, it is for Windows 10. Okay. So if you are logging to one virtual machine, one computer, let us say it is Windows 8 and its version is 3, and you have created some data and you have logged on to Windows 10 machine, the version is 6. So version is incompatible here. So you may face some issues. Okay. So to get the same version, you need to use the same Windows operating system. So here we have some versions. Version 1, operating system earlier than Windows Vista and Windows Server 2008. So this version 1 is supported by the operating system which are earlier than Vista and Windows Server 2008. Version 2 supported by Vista, Windows 7, Windows Server 2008, Windows Server 2008 R2. Then version 3 is supported by Windows 8, Windows Server 2012. Version 4 is supported by Windows 8.1, Windows Server 2012 R2, and version 5 is supported by Windows 10 RTMS released to manufacturers, and version 6 is supported by Windows 10, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019. And we have some drawbacks of roaming user profiles, like it can slow down the network, it will consume the server hard disk space, and it is not for all the users. So these are the limitations or drawbacks of roaming profile. So we'll discuss about FSRM, file server resource manager. What is FSRM? It is a role service in Windows Server that provides the following features. We will get storage quota management, file screening management, storage reports management. So you will get these three features under FSRM. Let us try to understand what are these three features one by one. First, we'll see storage quota management. This storage quota management allows system administrator to apply the limit on storage for users. For example, user 1 should get 1 GB storage. User 2 should get 2 GB storage. User 3 should get 1 GB storage, and so on. So we can apply the limit to the storage to a specific user. And we have the second feature of FSRM, which is file screening management. It allows system administrator to restrict users to save specific extensions. So using this feature, what we can do, we can restrict the users to save some files, like user 1 should not save exe files in the home folder. User 2 should not save the image files or images in the home folder. We can restrict the users to save a specific extension. Okay, so we have these many options like audio, video, backup files, compressed file, email files, executable files, image files, office files, etc. And we have the third feature, which is storage reports management. This feature is used for auditing. What auditing? It allows administrator to monitor the users for attempts to save file with restricted images. Let us say you have restricted user 1 to save .exe file. So you have restricted him, but still user is trying to save .exe file. Okay, so using this storage reports management, you can monitor the things and you can catch the user who is trying to break the rules. Okay, so it allows administrator to monitor the users for attempts to save files with restricted extension. So let us see how to install this FSRM service. So file server resource manager is a role service in Windows Server and it is not installed by default, must be installed manually. Let us see how to install it. So we will log on to domain controller, then we'll go to server manager, then we'll go to add roles and features. Then we'll go to file and storage services. Under this file and storage services, we'll select file and iSCSI services. Under this file and iSCSI services, we will select this option, file server resource manager. then you will get this window. You will click add features option, then this option will be checked. After selecting this add features option, so you can see this option is checked, then we will click next, then we'll click install. So this service will get installed. After that, we'll verify whether this service is installed or not. So we'll go to tools. Okay, we'll go to server manager, then we'll go to tools. Under tools, you will get this option, file server resource manager, FSRM. Let us install it. We'll go to the domain controller, then we'll go to server manager, then we'll go to add roles and features. We are installing these features, then we'll click next. We'll click next, and file and storage services will expand it. Under this file and storage services, we have file and iSCSI services. Then file server resource manager. Once you check it, you will get this window. Then we need to select add features. This option is checked. Then we'll click next, install. So it will install FSRM. After the installation, we'll verify. So it is installed successfully. We'll close it and we'll verify whether it is installed or not. So we'll go to tools. Then you can see we have this file server resource manager. It is installed successfully. So we'll see the storage quota management. Okay, so it is a FSRM feature which allows system administrator to apply the limit on storage for users. Example, user 1 should get 1 GB storage, user 2 should get 2 GB storage, and user 3 should get 1 GB storage, and so on. So now our requirement is Bill should get 5 GB network drive. Just 1 second. Yeah. So Bill should get 5 GB network drive, and we need to follow these steps. We need to create the quota template. After that, we'll apply the quota template to the user folder. Okay, so you need to follow these 2 steps.
Okay.
So the first step is to create the quota template of 5 GB. So in our case, what we will do, we will create the quota template for 2 GB. Okay. And how to create the quota template? We'll log on to the domain controller. Then we'll open the server manager. Then we'll go to tools. Under tools, we'll select this file server resource manager. You will get this window. Okay, you will go to the first option, which is quota management. We'll expand this option. Once we expand this option, we'll get two sub options here, quota and quota template. So first we'll create the quota template. We'll select quota templates, and we have already some templates created here. Okay, like 100 MB limit, 200 MB limit, 200 MB, 250 MB extended limit, monitor 200 GB. So we have so many templates available here, but we want to create our own template. So what you will do, you will right click on this quota template and you will select this create quota template option. After that, you will provide the name here, any meaningful name. So 5 GB template or 2 GB template. Then we will specify the limit here, 5, then we'll select GB. So we have given the limit here. So in our case, we are going to give 2 GB limit. Then it is having two options, hard quota option, soft quota option. What is the meaning of this hard quota option? So let us say you have selected 5 GB limit. So it will not allow user to exceed 5 GB. If you select soft quota option, so it will allow the users to exceed the limit. And this option we used for monitoring. Let us say we have given the limit of 5 GB storage and we have informed the users that you should use only 5 GB. And we want to test this user whether he is obeying us or not. So what we will give, we'll select this soft quota option and we'll see whether the user is using more than 5 GB or not. So here with soft quota, he can exceed the limit. Okay, so once he is exceeding the limit, you will get the message. Okay, you can monitor him and you can give him the warning. Okay, or you can go and check whether actually he needs more than 5 GB or not. Okay, if he needs actually more than 5 GB, let us say he is using 10 GB and he is saving the important files. So what you can do, you can exceed the limit to 10 GB. If he is not saving the important files, so you can warn him. Okay, so it is used to monitor the user. So we'll go with hard quota. After that, if you see here, the quota was created. Okay, so the template, we have given the name 5 GB template and it is created here. After creating the template, we'll do the second step, which is apply the template to bill folder. So then we'll select the first option, which is quota. We'll right click on quota and we'll select this create quota option. Then you will get this window and here we need to browse the home folder. Okay, so we'll go to home folder. It is saved in F home folder. Then we'll go to bill. So we'll select bill here, F home folder bill. After that, we'll select this option. Okay, we'll select the template 5 GB template. Then we'll click create. Okay, and this 5 GB template is applied to bill folder. And if you go to the home folder of bill, you will get 5 GB here instead of 100 GB. In our case, it will get 2 GB. Okay, so let us limit the bill to use only 2 GB of hard disk. So we'll go to tools, then we'll go to file server resource manager. And we'll go to this quota management option, the first option. Then we'll create the quota template. So if you see here, we have some ready-made templates. So we are not going to use these ready-made templates. We'll create our own template. We'll right click, create quota template, and 2 GB template. And here you can see, you can apply the limit in MB, KB. So we are going to apply the limit in GB, 2 GB, and we'll select the hard quota. Do not allow the users to exceed the limit. Soft quota allows the user to exceed the limit. It is for monitoring. Then we'll click OK, and 2 GB template is created, and you can see it is hard. Then we'll go to quotas. Then we'll right click, create quota, and we'll provide the path. We'll go to F and home folder. Under this home folder, we have bill folder. We'll select the bill and we'll click OK. And this quota will be, or this template will be applied. Where is that 2 GB we have created? Okay, 2 GB template. Then we'll select this create option. Okay, then we'll log on to any computer using bill user 1 2 3. Now if you see, the quota is how much? 2 GB. Okay, so let us close it and verify it. You go to properties, and what is the capacity now? 2 GB. Okay, so it is restricted to 2 GB. But user, this bill can save all the files in this drive. Okay, you can save the images. You can see he is allowed to save all kind of files, but we can restrict bill, okay, not to save the images. So we'll see it on Monday. Okay, so
Okay, no problem.
so we'll see file screen management. And file screening management is a feature of FSRM which allows system administrator to restrict users to save a specific extension file. For example, user 1 should not save .exe file in the home folder, and user 2 should not save the images in the home folder. So we can restrict the users to save the specific extension. By default, users can save all the files. And our requirement is bill should not save the image files except JPEG images. So we will restrict bill to save the images except JPEG format. Okay, so we need to follow these steps. The first step is to enable the auditing option if you want to monitor the user activity. So let us say after configuring this limit to bill, and you want to monitor whether bill is saving the image files or not. So we need to enable the auditing. So with the help of this auditing, we can monitor the activities of bill. If you do not enable it, you can't monitor it. And after that, we'll create a template to restrict all images except JPEG. After that, we will apply the template to the user folder. Okay, we'll create the template, then we'll apply the template to user folder. So we'll enable the auditing first. So how to enable the auditing option? We'll log on to domain controller. then we'll go to server manager, then we'll go to tools, then we'll select FSRM option. Okay, file server resource manager option, then right click here. After right clicking, we will select this configure options. Okay, here we'll select the first option, right click, and we'll select this configure option. Then we will select this option here. We'll get this window, and we need to go to file screening audit option, and we will check this option, record file screening activities in auditing database. Okay, to monitor the activities. If you uncheck, you won't be able to monitor it. Then we need to create the template to restrict all image extensions except JPEG. So then we will come to this option. Second option, file screening management. Under this file screening management, we have three options here: file screens, file screen template, and file group. So we'll select this second option to create the template, file screen templates. Then we'll have some predefined templates. So we are not going to use these predefined templates. We'll create our own template to block the images. Okay, so you will find some default templates and we want to create a new template. So we'll right click on file screen templates. Then we'll select this option, create file screen template. Then you will get this window. Okay, so here provide the template name. You need to provide the name here, template name, any meaningful name like block image files except JPEG. Okay, provide the template name, then select the screening type. So here we need to select what we want to block. So we have selected the image files here. After selecting the image files, you will get this window. We'll click edit and you will get this window. And here in this option, it will block these many extensions. And we need to exclude JPEG. Okay, so we need to enter JPEG here. After that, we'll click OK and our template is created, block image files except JPEG. After creating this template, we need to apply this template to the user folder. So we'll select the first option of file screens. Right click, create file screen, and we need to provide the path. Okay, we'll browse it to the build folder. Okay, build folder. In this example, it is saved in F, then home folder, then build. We have selected build, and you will see the path here, F home folder build. After that, we will apply the template. So we'll expand this option and we'll select this block image files except JPEG. This template is created by us and we'll apply this template to this folder. And the template is this template is applied. Then we'll do the verification. So we'll try to save any picture except JPEG. Okay, so we'll try to save bitmap image first and you will get this error. You need permission to perform this action. Then what we will do, we'll do the second verification. We'll save the JPEG file. So it should accept JPEG file. Let us do this lab. We'll log on to domain controller. We'll wait for a few seconds. We'll let this server settle down. Okay, so server manager is open. We'll go to tools. Under tools, we'll go to FSRM, file server resource manager. So we'll go to file server resource manager. We'll right click here and we'll select this configure option. And under this configure option, we'll select this file screen audit option and we'll check this record file screening activities. So this option will monitor the user's activities. After that, we need to create the template. We'll go to file screening management, file screen template, right click. So you can see we have some predefined templates here like block audio and video files, block email files, etc. We want our own template. So create a file screening template, file screen template, and we'll provide the name. And we'll select image files. Then we'll click edit. And here all the formats are included. Okay, which means it will block files to include means it will block all these extensions. And we need to exclude JPEG. So let us add JPEG asterisk dot JPEG. You will get the error. Okay, this error says you cannot specify the same file pattern in both files to include and files to exclude, which means this .jpeg is already there in files to include. So we need to delete .jpeg from here first. So let us delete. Let us remove it. And now it will accept asterisk .jpeg. Then we'll add it. Okay. Then we'll click OK. So our template is created. Block images except JPEG. Now we need to apply this template to build folder. So we'll go to file screens. We'll right click, create file screen option, and we'll provide the folder path of bill. So we'll go to C. It is not in C. It is in F. Then home folder. Under this home folder, we have the bill folder. Then we'll click OK. And you can see we have provided the bill path, bill folder path. Now what we will do, we'll select the template we created. Block images except JPEG. Then we'll select this option create. Okay, so this screening is created. We need to do the verification. We'll go to the workstation and we'll log on with bill account. Then we'll go to this PC. This is the home folder or network drive or of bill. And what we will do, we'll try to save .bmp image now. It should not accept. If it is accepting means we need to sign out and sign in. So you can see you need permission to perform this access. So it is not allowing to save the .bmp format. So we'll click cancel and let us try one more time. We will try it multiple times, which means this user is trying to break the rules. All these activities will be monitored. We'll cancel it. Now guys, let us try to save .jpeg file. So we'll create one .jpeg file. We'll open Paint. Now we'll save it. Save as. We'll give any name. Image dot jpeg, and we select this jpeg format. Then we'll click save. So you can't save. Okay, so we need to select the another location. So let us save it on desktop. Let us verify what is the extension of this image. Right click properties, and you can see it is .jpeg, and we can save this image now. We'll right click, copy, and paste. It should accept it. You can see, guys, it is accepting the .jpeg image, and it will not accept the other images. So this is how you will do this lab. So in this section, we'll see the third feature of FSRM, which is storage reports management. Storage report management is a feature of FSRM which is used for auditing. It allows administrator to monitor the users for attempts to save files which are restricted. Okay, so let us say we have restricted Bill to save the image files, but he is trying to save those image files, so we can monitor him, okay, whether he is trying to break the rules or not. And this time the requirement is to generate a report to see if the user has tried to save the restricted files or not. So how will you generate the report? You will go to FSRM and you will select the third option, storage report management. Right click, then you will select this option, generate reports now. After that, we need to select the format. Okay, in which format you want to see the report. DHTML, HTML, XML, CSV, text. So we'll go with default option. And here we will select this option, file screening audit. File screening audit, and we'll go with default setting, default report format. Then we'll go to scope. Okay, so under settings, we'll do two things. Then we'll go to scope. Under this scope, what we will do, we will add the home folder. Okay, after that, we'll click OK, and it will start generating the report. So you will get the report, and we'll open this report. Okay, let us go to the domain controller. Then we'll go to this storage reports management option. We'll right click and generate reports now. Then we'll select this option, file screening audit, and we'll go with DHTML. Then we'll go to scope. Under this scope, we will add the home folder. We'll click OK. Then we'll click OK. So it will generate the report now. It is gathering the information. Okay, this is the report. If you open this report, statistics, you will get the statistics here. Okay, so number of attempts, you will get it here. So in this section, we'll discuss about organization unit or OU. So to understand what is organization unit, we will see the challenges in managing the users with user container. So guys, this is the user container. Okay, and when we create any user, all the users will be created in user container. So when we create hundreds of users in a user container, all the users of different department will be mixed up, and it will be difficult for us to recognize which user belongs to which department. So in this example, if you see, we have so many users here: F1, F2, F3, F4, S1, S2, S3, S4, Satya Nadella, test, user 10, user 2. So it will be very difficult for us to recognize which user belongs to which department, and we can't count the users as well of a specific department. So it will be difficult for us to count the users of a specific department if we have hundreds of users in the user container. And it will be difficult to apply the policy to users of a specific department. Let us say you want to apply a policy on sales employees. Okay, and the policy is sales employees should not change the wallpaper. So you will have to search the sales employees account first. Okay, in this example, we have S1, S2, S3, S4, and you will have to apply the policy on individual user. So here in this example, we have only 4 users, but in real networks, you have hundreds of users, and it will be very difficult for you to apply the policies on individual users. First, you need to identify the user, then we'll need to apply the policies to those users. Okay, so these are the challenges when you when you create the users in user container. Okay, so to overcome these mentioned difficulties, we use OU or organizational unit. So what is an organizational unit? It is a logical container that contains Active Directory objects. Objects like users, groups, and sub OUs as well. And it is used for organizing and managing the Active Directory objects. So with the help of OUs, we can manage the users and groups, and it minimizes the administrative task. So in this example, if you see, we have created sales OU. Under this sales OU, we have created sales users S1, S2, S3, S4, and we have created the sales group, and we can create the sub OU as well. Okay, it is very helpful for you to manage the objects with organizational unit. So we use OU for better management, and we can classify the users based on department, role, etc. Like sales OU. Sales OU will have only the sales users, sales groups. Finance OU will have only the finance users and finance OUs. Managers OU. So you will add the manager accounts in the managers OU. So it will be very easy for us to recognize which user belongs to which department. It will be easy for us to count the users of a specific department if we have users in an OU container. And it will be easy to apply the policy to a specific department, like sales employees should not set the wallpaper. So you will go to the sales OU and you will apply the policy. This policy will be applied to all the users in the sales department. So how to create an OU? You will log on to the domain controller, then you will go to server manager. Under server manager, you will go to tools. Under tools, you will go to active directory and users. Okay, or what you can do, you can use this option shortcut dsa.msc. It will take you to active directory and users and computers option. It will take you to this page. Okay, so you will how to create the OU. So you will right click on domain, then you will select new, then you will select OU option. Then we'll provide the name to the container. So we'll provide the test. We'll provide the name as test. And if you see this option here, protect container from accidental deletion. If you check this option, it will protect this OU to be deleted accidentally. So to protect the container from accidental deletion, we need to check this option, protect container from accidental deletion, and we'll click OK, and test OU is created here. So we have created the OU, and let us see how to delete the OU. So steps, we will right click on this OU and we'll select this delete option, and it is saying that you don't have sufficient privileges to delete test, or this object is protected from accidental deletion. So guys, we have selected that option. That option is protecting this OU to be deleted accidentally. So we can't delete this OU with this method. So we need to follow another method. So OU will not be deleted because we have protected OU from accidental deletion, but we want to delete it. So how to delete? So we must uncheck that option. So to uncheck that option, we need to go to view and we'll select this advanced features. After selecting this advanced features, you will get this window again. So you will go to test OU, then you will go to properties, then you will go to objects. Under this objects, you will uncheck this option. So protect object from accidental deletion object, this option is unchecked. Then we'll click OK. Then guys, we can delete this test OU. So are you sure you want to delete OU? So we'll click yes, and OU will be deleted. So let us do this lab. So we'll go to server manager. Under server manager, we'll go to tools. Under tools, we have active directory, users and computers option. So first we'll create the test OU, then we'll try to delete it. So we'll go to ms.com domain, right click, new, and we'll create organizational unit. And you can see this option is checked, protect container from accidental deletion. So we'll provide the name to this OU, then we'll click OK. Our test OU is created. Now we want to delete this test OU. So we'll right click on this OU and we'll select this delete option. It will not be deleted. Okay, are you sure you want to delete organizational unit named test? We'll say yes, but it will not allow you to delete it. So you don't have sufficient privileges to delete test, or this object is protected from accidental deletion. So this object is protected from accidental deletion. So, but we want to delete it. So we'll go to view. Under view, we'll go to advanced features option. Now we'll go to test OU, right click properties, then we'll go to object and we'll uncheck this option, protect object from accidental deletion. Now we'll go to test OU, right click, then we can delete it. It is deleted. Okay, so we'll do some other labs. Now our requirement is to create two OUs. One is for sales department, the other one is for finance department. So we'll create finance OU and sales OU. Then we'll create the users in the respective OU. So we'll go to sales OU and we'll create the users S1, S2, S3, and S4. Then we'll go to the finance OU and we'll create F1, F2, F3, and F4 users in the respective OUs and move. After that, what we will do, we will move the users from user container to finance OU. So some users are there which belong to finance department. So they were created before creating the OU. So now what we will do, we will move those users to finance department. So let us create two OUs first. So we'll go to ms.com, right click, new, OU, sales OU. Then we'll click OK. Under the sales OU, we'll create some users. Right click, new, user, S1, S1. Then we'll click next. Password never expires and the password is 123. Then we'll click next, finish. S1 is created. Let us create S2. We click next. The password is 123. Then we'll click next. S2 is created. Let us create S3. Next, 123, 123. Then we'll click next, finish. We'll create one more user, S4. Then we'll click next. Uncheck user must change the password at next logon. Then we'll select this password never expires option. Password is 123. 4 users have been created in sales OU. Then we'll create finance OU. So guys, in this sales OU, you can create the groups. Right click and sales group. You can create sub OU as well. Right click, new, then OU, sales, sub OU. So it has created the sub OU as well. Let us create the finance OU. We'll go to ms.com, new, OU, finance OU, then we'll click OK. Under this finance OU, will create some users, F1, F1. So in real networks, you will create hundreds of users. And for us, for our labs, 4 users are enough. Create F2. And you click next. 1, 2, 3. Finish. Then F3. F3. Password never expires. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll click next. Finish. We'll create one more user. F4. F4. Password never expires. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3. So guys, so we have created the OUs and we have added the users. Now, let us say we have some users of finance OU in user container. Let us say they are Bill and Satya. So we want to move these users to finance department. So you will right click, then you will select this move option and you will select the finance OU. And if you go to finance OU, you will find the Bill Gates here. Okay, any user you want to move, you can right click, you will go to user container and let us say we want to move this Asif user to sales department. Sales OU. If you go to sales OU, you can see the Asif user here. So this is how you will move the users from one container to another container. So guys, in this section, we will discuss about delegation. So what is delegation? It is an Active Directory feature that allows domain administrators to grant users to control a portion of Active Directory environment. So by default, administrator will control the complete Active Directory. With the help of delegation, what we can do, we can allow some other administrators, junior administrators to use or control a portion of Active Directory environment. For example, in our organization, we have 3 administrators, Bill, Satya, and Jeff. And the domain administrator can allow Bill to manage the finance OU. So Bill can manage only this finance OU, and Satya can manage sales OU. And Jeff, we can allow Jeff to manage the whole domain. So which makes administration decentralized. Previously, the administration was centralized. Centralized means only the administrator was managing the complete domain. Now, what we have done, we have decentralized the administration with the junior engineers. So, which tasks we can delegate to a user? So, users can create, delete, and manage the user accounts, and the users can reset the user password, force password change at next log on, read all the information, create, delete, and manage the groups, modify the membership of a group, manage group policy links, generate the resultant set of policies. Then our requirement is to delegate Bill to control the finance OU. Okay, Bill should control only finance OU. So he can't access the other OUs. So what he can do with finance OU, Bill can create, delete, and manage users, and Bill can create, delete, and manage groups. Then we need to perform this task. So we must perform the below 2 tasks to make the delegation work successfully. The first task is to delegate the control to a user. Okay, so what you will do, you will go to the OU and we will delegate the control. Let us say Bill can manage, Bill can create, delete and manage users and groups. So we'll delegate the control to Bill. After that, we need to allow user to access the domain controller. So guys, we have delegated the control to users. So to manage this finance OU and sales OU, user has to log on to domain control. But by default, a normal user can't access the domain controller. So we need to provide the permission, okay, to these users to access the domain controller. So if you are delegating only the control and user is unable to log on to domain controller, which means there is no use of delegation here. So user should access the domain controller as well. So task one will delegate the control to the users. So how to delegate the control? So you will go to Active Directory users and computers. Then you will go to the finance for you. Right click and you will get the first option, delegate control. And here you will select add option. And we need to provide the username which is going to access or control the finance OU. So our requirement is this bill should control the finance OU. So we will type his name and his name is appearing here. Then we'll click next. And here we will delegate the following tasks. Like our requirement is to delegate this task, create, delete, and manage user accounts, and create, delete, and manage groups also. Okay, so we have selected these two tasks. Then we'll click next. Then we'll click finish. So we have delegated the task here, and we'll try to log on the domain controller with bill account. We'll get the below error. Bill doesn't have the administrator rights. So you will get this error because Bill doesn't have the administrator rights to access the domain controller. And the error is sign-in method you are trying to use isn't allowed. For more information, contact your administrator. So we need to provide the access of this domain controller to the user as well. Then only he can manage the finance for you. So only the administrator can log on to domain controller. Now we'll allow Bill to access the domain controller. Okay, so what we will do, we'll go to group policy management on domain controller and we will allow Bill to log on locally. Locally in the sense he can log on to DC locally. So these are the steps configuring group policy management to allow Bill to log on locally. So these are the steps. You need to log on to DC as an administrator. Then you will go to server manager. Then we'll go to tools. Then group policy management. Then we will go to forest. We'll expand forest. When expand domains, then we'll expand ms.com. Under this ms.com, we will expand this option, domain controllers. Okay, you should not select this domain controller policies. You need to expand domain controllers option, then you will get one policy here, domain default domain controller policy. We need to edit this policy, not this. Okay, right click here, then edit. After selecting this edit option, we'll go to computer configuration. We'll expand policies, then we'll expand Windows settings, and then we will expand security settings. Under security settings, we'll expand local policies, then we'll select the user rights assignment. You will get this window, and here you will select this option, allow log on locally. Then you will right click properties, allow log on locally, and here we will add bill. Okay, so bill, then we'll click OK. So we'll select this option here, add users or group. Then you will get this window. You will type the username or browse. You will get this window. Then you will type the user name here. Then we'll click OK, and bill is added here, and then we'll click OK. After that, what we will do, we will log out from the administrator and will log in with bill account. Then we will be able to manage this finance for you. So we'll create some users, we'll create some groups here in finance for you, and we'll try to access this sales for you as well. So you will not be allowed with bill user account to access the other OUs. So we'll do the verification. We'll delete the users in finance for you and sales for you. So only the finance OU is allowed, sales OUs will not be allowed. So let us do this lab. We'll log on to the domain controller with administrator account. Okay, then we'll go to tools. So let us wait for a few seconds. Okay, then we'll go to Active Directory, users and computers. Okay, then we'll right click on sales OU, and here we have this option, delegate control. We'll select this option, we'll click next, and we'll add the user here, and the user is Bill, and we'll check names. We'll click OK. So user is added here. Then we'll click next, and we need to give this permission, create, delete, and manage user accounts, create, delete, and manage the groups. Okay, so these two options are selected, create, delete, and manage user accounts, create, delete, and manage groups. Then we'll click next. Finish. Then we'll go to server manager, tools, group policy management. Under this group policy management, we'll expand forest domains, and our domain is ms.com, and we'll not select this default domain policy. We'll select this option, domain controllers. Under this domain controllers, we have a default domain controller policy. Okay, then we'll select this option, edit. Then we'll go to computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, and we'll select this security settings. Under the security settings, we'll go to local policies. Under this local policies, we'll go to users rights assignment. Then we need to select log on. Local option. Okay, let us allow log on locally, and then we'll double click on it, and here we don't have bill, So we need to add bill here. You can browse as well. Browse, and you need to provide the username here. Check names. Okay. Okay. Then you will apply. So we log out from the server. Okay. And we'll log in with bill account. We'll sign out from here. And we'll log in with bill account 1, 2, 3, 4. And the sign in method you are trying isn't allowed. For more information, contact your administrator. So guys, we have already assigned, we have already allowed bill to access this server, but still it is not allowing because we have not updated the policy. So we need to update the policy. So we log on with administrator account. We'll wait for a few seconds. We'll make this server settle down. We'll type this command to update the group policy. It is updating the group policy. So computer policy update has successfully done, and we'll switch the user. We can sign out, we can switch the user as well. Bill 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you see, we are able to access this domain controller. So Bill is having the access. Now what we will do, we'll open the server manager. Bill 1, 2, 3, 4. So after opening this, server manager will go to tools. Under tools, we'll go to Active Directory users and computers. We'll expand ms.com, and we are having this finance OU, sales OU. So first we'll go to finance OU and we'll create some users here. Right click and let us go to sales OU. Okay, I think this bill is having the sales OU permission. If you right click here, so we have provided the permission to access the sales OU. So we'll right click new, and you can see it can create users and groups. It doesn't have the other options. Let us create S5, S5, and then we'll provide the password 123, 123. Then we'll click next, then finish. You can see we are able to create the username here. If you want to delete, you can delete it. It is having full control on sales OU. Not full control. He can create the users. He can delete the users. You can create the groups and you can delete the groups as well. So let us create the group as well. Says group 2. We'll click OK, and we are able to create the group successfully, and we can delete the group as well. Bill is having permission to delete the groups as well. Okay, but if Bill wants to create any user and group in finance OU, he can't do it. If you right click here and it doesn't have any new option here. Whereas if you go to sales, you will find the new option here, and if you select this new option, he can create user and group. So this is how you will delegate the permission. So in this section, we will discuss about Active Directory structure. Active Directory structure consists of logical and physical structure. Physical structure consists of domain controller and sites. Domain controller is nothing but your server, and this is the physical server, you can touch it. And sites means the place where you install this domain controller. Okay, this is the physical structure. And logical structure consists of domain, trees, and forest. Okay, so domain ms.com is the part of logical structure, and it is having trees and forest as well. So we will see what is this tree and forest in our coming classes. So domain model has centralized management. So as we have discussed, domain model is a centralized management, and let us say user wants to log on to any client. The request will go to the domain controller, and domain controller will check its database, and it will see whether the user one is created or not. User 2 wants to log on to client 2. Again, he will provide its his credentials, and these credentials will be verified by the domain controller. If it is available, then only this user 2 can log on to client 2, and so on. So domain model has centralized management, and with workbook model, there is no centralized management. So all the users are created on the local clients. Okay. And guys, we have only one domain controller, which is 10.0.0.1 in our net environment. So if you have hundreds of users, okay, and all the hundreds of users are login with this one domain controller, so it will have the overload. This is the first problem, and there is a single point of failure. If this domain controller goes down, these users won't be able to log on to their computers. This is the first. These are the problems when you only have one domain controller. So what is the solution? To overcome these issues, we should add secondary domain controller. The secondary domain controller is the backup domain controller. So if you already have a domain controller in a domain, you can add the additional domain controller to the domain to improve the availability, reliability of network services. So let us say we have one domain controller and we have created one additional domain controller, ADC. Okay, so this additional domain controller, it will have the copy of domain controllers database. Okay, it will have like user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. And if this domain controller goes down, these users are still can log on to their computers using this ADC. The request will first go to domain controller. If it is not available, then the request will go to the additional domain controller or backup domain controller. It will check whether these users are available in the database or not. So these users are available, so they can log on to their computers. This is the use of additional domain controller. So we can have secondary domain controller with any operating system but the forest function level should match. So we have installed this domain controller on Windows Server 2022, and we are creating one ADC. Okay, so we can install this ADC on any operating system like Windows Server 2016. It will work, but you should make sure that the forest functional level should match. Okay, if this computer is having the forest function level 2016, this DC also should have the forest function level 2016. Then only we can create the additional domain controller. If the forest function level are not matching, so these two servers are not compatible with each other. Okay, so how to verify the forest function level of both the devices? You will go to ms.com, then you will go to properties. Okay, under this properties, you will see the domain function level and forest function level. Here in this example, it is 2008. So when you are creating the additional domain controller, the forest function level should be 2008 only. And we'll configure our member server as backup server. So guys, we have one member server and the IP address of the member server is 10.0.0.2, and we have already installed Windows Server 2022 on this member server. So what we will do, we will make this member server as additional domain control. So the name of that computer is server 2 and it is already in domain ms.com. Okay, so the current IP address of the member server is 10.0.0.2 and preferred DNS is 10.0.0.1. If you see here, the IP address of the member server is 10.0.0.2 and the preferred DNS is 10.0.0.1, and we want to make this server as ADC, additional domain controller. So we need to make some changes here. So if you want to make this server as domain controller, so the IP address will be same 10.0.0.2 and the preferred DNS it will be same 10.0.0.2 because we are going to install the Active Directory here. Okay, so the IP address and preferred DNS will be same here, and in the section in this field a DNS or alternate DNS, we will configure 10.0.0.1, which is the IP address of our domain controller. So primary domain controller doesn't have any alternate DNS. So if you see here, the primary domain controller IP address is 10.0.0.1 and preferred DNS is same 10.0.0.1, and it doesn't have the alternate DNS server IP address. So to configure the secondary domain controller, we should install the Active Directory and DNS. So let us say we have selected this server, which is 10.0.0.2. So to make it ADC, we need to install Active Directory and DNS. And we will give the existing domain name. So we are going to use ms.com only. Okay, so this will be the part of ms.com because this will be the additional domain controller. The primary server is called as domain controller. So this 10.0.0.1 domain controller, it is called as domain controller only. And the secondary server or backup server is called as additional domain controller or ADC. And the IP address of this ADC will be 10.0.0.2. So guys, the backup server is the copy of primary server. So let us say this is our backup server 10.0.0.2 and it is ADC and this is our DC. So it is the copy of our domain controller. So which means let us say you have created user one and this user one will be copied to ADC. So the backup server is a copy of the primary server. So when we create a user on domain controller, it will be updated to ADC and vice versa, and vice versa. Which means if you create any user like user 2 in ADC, it will be copied to the domain controller. And this replication type has read write permission. So guys, it should have read write permission, then only the replication will be done from DC to ADC, ADC to ADC. Replication means update. So read write permission should be there, then only the update will be done. And we have read only domain controller as well. Okay, so read only domain controller is also a backup domain controller, but has only read only permissions, and it is installed on different sites. So let us say guys, you have different sites, and we have this domain controller 10.0.0.1, and you want to configure the additional domain controller. So it is in Hyderabad, and you want to install this additional domain controller, let us say in Bangalore. And in Bangalore, you have a junior system administrator, and you don't want to give him read write permission. You don't want the Bangalore administrator should create the username and passwords in that server, in the ADC. So in this scenario, what you will do, you will create the backup domain controller, but you will give only read only permission. Okay, so it is also a backup domain controller, but has read only permission, and it is called as RODC, read only domain controller. So all the usernames will be created in the domain controller, and it will be updated to the ADC, okay, or you can say RODC. It will be updated here, and if this domain controller goes down, these clients can still log on to their computers using this RODC. And guys, let us see the client configuration. So we have seen the IP address configuration on domain controller. We have seen the IP address configuration on additional domain controller. And how will you configure the workstations? How will you configure the computers, PCs? So let us say you want to configure the IP address as 10.0.0.10, and the preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.1. The IP address of the domain controller will be the preferred DNS, and alternate DNS will be the ADC IP address, which is 10.0.0.2. So the request will go to DC. So if this client one or the client two wants to log on to, the user two wants to log on to client two, the request will go to DC. If it is available, it will allow. If it is not available, then the request will go to ADC. ADC will allow this user to log on to client two. Okay, so if DC goes down, users can still log on to their client machines using ADC. And in case of no replications, let us say you have created some users like U1, U2, U3, it should be replicated, it should be updated to ADC. In case there is no updation, if there is no replications, you need to wait up to 180 minutes. Maximum you need to wait up to 180 minutes. So within this 180 minutes, it will update the users to ADC. Okay. Otherwise, you need to restart the computer for the update. So you should restart the computer, you should restart the server in non-working hours. Or you need to check the connection as well. Okay, whether the connectivity between DC and ADC is there or not. If it is there, you need to wait for 180 minutes. If it is not updated within this 180 minutes, you need to restart the server. Now, what we will do, we will install the ADC, then we will do the verification. So let us do this lab. So in this section, we will configure this member server. We will install. We will make this member server as additional domain controller. Okay, so let us verify the IP configuration. of this server. We'll type ncpa.cpl. Ethernet 0, then properties. Then if you see here, the IP address of this member server is 10.0.0.2. Subnet mask is 255.0.0.0, and preferred DNS is 10.0.0.1. This is the IP address of our domain controller. Now we want to make this server to as additional domain controller, which means we need to install the Active Directory, and we need to install the DNS as well. So now the preferred DNS will be 10.0.0.2 because we are making this server as DNS server as well. So the IP address and preferred DNS will be same here. So let us change it to 2, and alternate DNS will be 10.0.0.1. And 0.0.0.1. Then we'll click OK. OK, then close, and we'll do some verifications, like we'll go to the server manager. We'll go to tools, and we don't have any Active Directory services here because we have not installed any. We have not installed the Active Directory. So there is no Active Directory service here, and we'll go to command prompt. If we type this net accounts, so it is a server. Okay, so let us make this server ADC. So we'll go to add roles and features. Then we'll click next, and the server name and IP address is correct. Then we'll click next, and we want to install the ADDS here, Active Directory, domain services. Then we'll add features. This option is checked. Then we'll click next, then we'll click install. So it will install the Active Directory. After installing this Active Directory, we need to promote this server as domain controller. So we will make this server as additional domain controller. We'll see how to make it additional domain controller. So it is installed. We'll close this window and we'll promote this server to a domain controller. So here we have three options. So we'll select the first option to make the server as domain controller. If you see here, add a domain controller to existing domain. So we already have an existing domain and we will add the server to this domain here. Okay. So we'll select the first option. Then we'll click next. And the domain name is ms.com here. And it is having DNS checked and global catalog is also checked here. So you can uncheck. We'll see what is this global catalog. And we have one more option which is called as read-only domain controller. So if you want to make this ADC as read-only domain controller, you will select this option. So if you uncheck this option, it will get the read-write permission. So we need to provide the DSRM password here. Let us provide NOA123 hash dollar, NOA123 hash dollar. Then we'll click next, next, then we'll click next, next, next. It is verifying the prerequisites for domain controller operation. So all prerequisite checks passed successfully. So which means we can make this server as additional domain controller. Then we'll click install. It will restart the server now. So let us log on to the server. So we'll change the name to ADC before login. Let us verify the things. We'll go to tools and you can see it is having the Active Directory services, Active Directory Administrative Center, Active Directory Domains and Trust, etc. Then we'll go to the command prompt. Then we'll type this command, net accounts. And if you see for ADC, you will get backup here. Previously it was showing server, which means it was a member server. Now it is a backup server. Backup means additional domain controller. For domain controller, you will get primary. Net accounts. And if you see the domain controller, how will you identify whether the device is a domain controller or additional domain controller? If it is a domain controller, you will get primary here. If it is an additional domain controller, you will get backup. And if it is a member server, you will get server. So this is the backup server. And what we will do, we'll access the Active Directory users and computers. In ADC, we'll go to tools, then Active Directory users and computers, and we'll verify whether it is updated or not. So if you see here, we are at ADC and it is having finance OU, which are created on domain controller, sales OU, then user. So what we will do now, we'll create one OU here. And we'll provide any meaningful name according to our lab. So OU created on ADC. Then we'll click OK and we'll create two users like ADC user 1, ADC user 1. Then we'll click next and we'll provide the password 123 123. Then we'll click next, finish. Okay, so we have created OU and we have created one user. Now we'll go to server 1 and we'll see whether it is updated or not. So let us search for that OU. It is domain controller, finance OU, sales OU. So OU is not updated yet. We'll wait for a few seconds. We'll open the server manager. Then we'll go to tools and Active Directory users and computers. And it is not updated. If it is not updated, we need to wait for maximum 180 seconds. Okay. And after 180 seconds, we can restart. We can restart now itself, but we'll wait for the update to be done. So you create it. So let us restart. So they will get synchronized. Before restarting, we'll see the IP address. So if you see the IP address here, 10.0.0.1 and alternate DNS is, sorry, it should be, where are we? Where we are at what? Okay, we'll go to this server, ncpa.cpl, properties, 10.0.0.2, preferred DNS is 10.0.0.2. We'll go to the server, we'll go to DC and we'll configure DNS as 10.0.0.1. Then we'll click OK and we'll go to server manager. Then we'll go to Active Directory and users, Active Directory users and computers. Now you can see we are getting the OU created on ADC with ADC user. So let us create one more OU here. OU created on DC. Okay, we'll go to ADC. Then under this OU created on ADC, we should have sub OU here.